Today,
Yeah.
yeah, I was working this morning and now relaxing, learning a little bit of English.
Nice. Okay. And what do you do for work, Mika? What's your job?
My job, system engineer.
A system engineer. Cool. And Tony, what about you? What do you do? Are you a student or do you work? What do you
Uh,
do?
I graduated in December, and in this month I studied English, and now I'm starting to look for a job.
Perfect. That's great. Congratulations on graduating. What did you
Yeah.
study, Tony? What did you
I
study?
studied finance,
Cool. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to study. So
yes,
finance.
and I had to improve my English because I needed in with finance.
Yeah, great. Definitely online classes are a great way to improve your English.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, so it looks like it might just be the two of us or the three of us to start out with. Let's get started with today's lesson. Take a look at that. And so, Miguel, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Job interviews. In today's class, we will practice jobs interviews, learn job interview vocabulary, and talk about pet peeves.
Good. Talk about pet peeves.
Pet
Can
peeves.
you repeat pet peeves?
Pet peeves.
Nice. Perfect. Um, and so, do either of you know what pet peeves are?
I think that is something difficult. No?
Not quite. What's a pet peeve? Do you have any ideas, Tony?
This topic, uh, but I before I checked on the vocabulary because I didn't remember well, and I would say there are something um, that you you maybe think it's a bit problem that you think a lot,
A problem?
a small problem that you think a lot.
Ah, okay, so a small problem that you think a lot about, maybe? Um, Close. I think a pet peeve is something that someone does that maybe irritates or annoys you. So, yeah, it's usually something small. So, something small that someone does that irritates or annoys you. But that's a pet peeve. We'll talk about them more a little bit later. And so let's go to the next page. And Tony, can you ask Miguel the first question?
When was the last time you went in for a job interview? I went for a job interview, I think more than 1 week ago.
Okay. Okay, good. And Miguel, what about you? When was the last time you went in for a job interview?
Uh, I went for a job interview 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Good. Really nice job. Great sentences, both of you guys. Okay, and Miguel, can you ask Tony the second question?
Tony, how many times have you interviewed for a position?
Mm, I think more or less 4 or 5 times.
Nice, okay. More or less 4 or 5 times. So we're missing a verb. If we're going to use the present perfect, we'd have to have a verb. I have what? What verb's missing, Tony?
Gone.
Okay. I've gone, more or less, for. Okay. We could say
I've
gone.
done.
Okay, gone would work better. So you could say I've gone more or less 4 or 5 times. I think I would say I have interviewed, or I have been interviewed, um, more or less 4 or 5 times. Or you could say around, I think was another good one. But good. And Tony, can you ask Miguel the same question?
Miguel, how many times have you interviewed for a position?
We could say gone.
I have been interviewed 4 or 5 times too.
Nice. Great. Really good answer. Perfect. And let's go on to the next page. And Tony, can you read the title and the directions?
Okay.
Sorry, Tony, I can't really hear you.
Sorry, teacher, I had my verbling chat, my verbling side. Um, okay. Vocabulary. Use the words. Use these words in a sentence or define them.
Good. Nice. Great pronunciation. And let's have Miguel. Can you read the first 4 words?
Analyzed, attained, carry out, and collaborated.
Good. Really good pronunciation. Maybe analyzed. It's got like an "an" sound. So can you repeat analyzed?
Analyze,
Yeah, analyzed. For sure. Really good job. Okay. And Tony, can you read the next 4 words?
Engineered, facilitated, overcome, rectified.
Nice. Okay. Engineered. Can you repeat engineered?
Engineer,
Yeah, and then rectified.
rectified.
Nice. Okay, perfect. That sounded great. And do either of you have any questions about any of these words? Any questions?
The second one,
The second word, okay. And Miguel, can you define? Do you know what the second word means?
I don't really know the meaning of the second word.
Okay. So attained. It's when you like reach or achieve a goal, or yeah, so reach or achieve a goal. So it's to arrive at a destination. So I attained the highest position possible, or I attained, yeah, so like anything. I attained my goal, or it's like saying I achieved my goal or I reached my goal. I attained a great position in a company. So you could say it's like I got a great position. Does that make sense, Tony?
yes,
When Miguel?
it's like obtain.
It's like, pardon?
It's like obtain.
Yeah, it's like obtain. Exactly. Any other questions about any of these words? Okay. And so can each of you choose one word and write a sentence with that word in the chat box? Ah, okay, yeah. Tony,
Yes.
I see your sentence now. Just the other chat box. So there are a bunch of applications on the left-hand side of the screen. So if you hold your mouse above like any of the pictures on this screen, there should be a bar of applications on the left-hand side. There's a blue box that
Yes.
says chat.
Maybe went there.
And so that's where usually I'll be writing. But really good sentence. And Miguel, are you almost done with your sentence? You almost done, Miguel?
Uh, yes, maybe. Uh, I carry out all the objectives of the task in the specified time.
Okay. Did you write that down so I can just carry?
Let me see where is the application in the left menu.
Yeah, or you could do it. Do you not see the chat box though? It's a blue
Ah,
box. And it's,
in the chat,
yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah. So I heard I carried out all the objectives. But Tony, can you read your sentence?
I know that it's difficult to overcome our fears, but I try to do it.
Okay. I know it's difficult to overcome. Nice. Awesome job, Miguel. It's difficult to overcome. But I'll try to do it. This is a good sentence grammatically, Tony. I know that it's difficult to overcome our fears. Yeah, okay, so I wouldn't really change anything. It sounds a little bit strange because of our and I'll. So it sounds like almost we're talking about two different things, but it's still fine grammatically because this is a generalized statement, and this is something that you're going to try to do. So that was good, Tony. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. Miguel, can you read your sentence one more time?
I carried out all the objectives of the task in the specified time.
Yeah. Yeah, all the objectives of the task in this. Again, really good sentence. I wouldn't change anything. Perfect. Okay. And do either of you guys have any last questions on either of these pages? Okay. Let's go to the next page. And let's have Miguel. Can you read the comic?
Talk about it. My short-term goal is to bluff my way through this job interview. My long-term goal is to invent a time machine so I can come back and change everything I said so far.
Good. That sounded great. The only small thing, bluff. Can you repeat bluff?
Bluff.
Yeah. Good. Perfect. And Miguel, can you ask Tony the first question?
Tony, what do you think about this comic?
I think that the guy wants to get the job, so he tried to say what the interviewer wants to say.
Okay, so we'd use the present progressive. So we'd say, so he is trying to say what the interviewer wants. And then I think you said to say. What other verb would we use there? So not to say.
To hear.
Yeah, perfect. To hear. Really good. And yeah, that's part of it for sure. What's the idea of to bluff my way through this job interview? What's that mean, Tony?
That he doesn't say the truth.
Okay, so he isn't instead of doesn't, so he isn't saying the truth. Yeah. And we'd actually probably use the verb to tell. So he isn't telling the truth. So to tell the truth is a really common expression. So tell the truth. And it's almost never say the truth. Does that make sense, Tony?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And Ken, welcome to class. Ken, how's it going?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Good to see you again, Ken. Okay, and Miguel, what about my long-term goal is to invent a time machine so I can come back and change everything I've said so far. What do you think that means?
Uh, I think that is the idea about about what he will go when he's hired.
Okay.
So it's completely different with he is speaking in this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. So it's what he's gonna do when he's hired. So I think the idea that he's gonna make a time machine, so it probably means he doesn't think he'll be tired, or he doesn't think he'll be hired. Um,
Uh,
so what will the time machine do? What will the time machine do? So what will the time machine do? Maybe Ken, what do you think? Or Miguel? Either.
Time machine, make be able to time travel to travel time over time.
Yeah, travel through time, we'd say.
Yes.
For sure. So that's what a time machine does. So why is he inventing a time machine? So why do you think he's inventing a time machine?
to pass the interview.
Okay. Yeah, so he wants to pass the interview. So he's going to make a time machine so that at some point he can come back and pass this interview and get his job. Right? Does that make sense? Tony, Miguel, Ken?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And Ken, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever felt like you wanted to invent a time machine?
Yeah, I want. Sometimes I want somebody invent time machine.
Okay, so you don't want to do it yourself, but you want to have one.
Yeah, because I'm not a technological kind of guy. So.
Okay, good. And so what about you, Tony? Can you tell us an example of when you wanted to use a time machine?
Mm, to be honest, I'm I don't think a lot about what I did in the past, and I try to be better in the future.
Nice. That's definitely a good way of saying it. I try to be better in the future. Good. Okay. Um, yeah, it's a little bit more realistic, probably a little bit more progressive. What about you, Miguel? Can you think of a time you wanted to use a time machine?
Probably I will invent it to travel through time and change some things, but I've never asked it again.
Okay. I've never asked it again. What do you mean by
No,
that, Miguel?
I've never asked it, never or at all. Sorry, not again.
Okay. I've never. I'm not really sure still what you mean. Can you rephrase what you're trying to say? Okay.
Mm,
Or Miguel, where are you from? Sorry, Miguel, where are you from?
Explain, sorry. I'm writing the correct sentence. I have never.
So we'd say it's never been asked, or no one has ever asked me. That question, maybe?
But if I want to ask, if I want to say that I am the subject,
We wouldn't have I the subject. So the question has never been asked to me, or no one has ever
okay.
asked me the question.
Okay.
So to be like, no me han preguntado esto. Something similar to that. I think that's what you're trying to say, but good. Hopefully that makes sense. And Vuong, welcome to class. Vuong, how are you doing? Sorry, Vuong, it looks like your microphone is muted. Are you there, Vuong? Okay. Yeah. Okay, can you hear us and can you speak? Okay, so just let us know when you're ready to speak, and let's go on to the next page. And okay, perfect, Vuong. So Miguel, can you ask Ken the first question?
What are your strengths?
My strengths would be kind of persistent, eager to learn. Or yeah, that's one of my strengths, I guess. I'm not so I don't have so much talent, but I don't hesitate to make efforts.
Okay, I'm not sure what the last sentence you said was. So my strengths would be persistence and eagerness to learn.
Yeah.
What was the last sentence?
I'm not so talented, but I don't hesitate to make some effort to achieve something. Yeah.
Make an effort to achieve something. Awesome. So my strengths would be persistence and eagerness to learn. I'm not so talented, but I don't hesitate to make an effort to achieve something. That's an awesome sentence. Really good. Okay, Ken, can you ask Tony the next question?
Okay. What are your weaknesses?
Good.
I think that I have to improve my language skills, and anyway, I like to be always a better person. So uh, maybe I don't see something in particular, but everything is improvable.
Okay, so I don't see something in particular, but everything can be improved. I think that's a really good answer. I think I have to improve my language skills, which is a really good answer. Yeah, for sure. Pointing out something that you are actively improving is a great answer in an interview. Okay, and Tony, can you ask Miguel the next question and make up a company name? So like, example would be Apple or Google. So make up a company name, really any company name.
Okay. Why are you interested in working for Microsoft?
I am really interested in working for Microsoft. Indeed, these activities are related with my my profession.
Related. You're related to my profession.
So
Okay, and how are they related to your profession? So, like, why exactly is Microsoft a good fit for you? So, how are they related to your company? What do you like to do, or what do you do professionally?
I would work with a bigger infrastructure that I'm working today. So it's good for my skills, and obviously it's good for Microsoft.
Nice. Obviously, it's good for Microsoft. Okay, really nice job. I would work with a bigger infrastructure than I'm working. I think we'd use another preposition with today. So it's good for my skills, and obviously it's good for Microsoft. I think that'd work. Really nice answer, Miguel. And Vuong, are you there? Can you speak yet? Okay. So yeah, again, just let us know. Okay, Miguel, can you ask Ken the next question?
Why do you want to leave, or why did you want to leave your current company?
Yes, consider to my career, my job in current country is not suitable for scale up my career. So that's why I want to leave that company.
Okay. So considering my career, my job at my current company is not suitable to what?
It's not suitable for how can I say for career up. Career up is strange English. How can I say? It's not suitable for my field of career.
Okay. Instead of saying we probably wouldn't start with considering my career, because that sounds like a little bit repetitive in that case. So my job at my current company is not suitable for my my desired career path.
Yeah, career path, yes.
Okay, so can you repeat that whole sentence one more time, Ken?
Okay. My job at my current company is not suitable for my desired career path.
Okay, and so what's your career path? What do you think it should look like, Ken?
Yes, I want to be a teacher, but this current company's job doesn't relate to the teaching teaching field or education field. That's what I meant. So I want to brush up my teaching career in other company, like your company.
Nice. Really good. So maybe I want to be a teacher, but this current company doesn't offer any positions in the teaching field.
Yes.
Can you repeat that sentence? I think that might sound a little bit better.
Okay. I want to be a teacher, but this current company doesn't offer any position in the teaching field.
Perfect. Really nice job. Okay, and Ken, can you ask Tony the last question?
Tell me about a time you deal with a crisis.
It's difficult with this question because I I graduated in a crisis, so I have to look for a job in a crisis. But I'm optimistic and
Okay. So in this case, Really good sentences, by the way. Your grammar looks great. A crisis, in this case, is a little bit different. A crisis is like an emergency. So maybe if you're in school, you could have a crisis when you forgot about a presentation that was due the next day, and you had to work all night to finish the presentation. Or when your final project was deleted from your computer and you had to find a way to recuperate the files. So it's just dealing with an emergency. And it's like showing how you kept a cool head, or you figured out a problem. Does that make sense, Tony?
Yes, yes. Uh, I don't remember now some emergency like this.
Okay, so you've never really dealt with any crises. So maybe a good answer would be, so I really try to prepare myself so I don't have to deal with crises. So I can't remember a time where I've actually had an emergency that I had to deal with. So I prepare so well that I don't deal with crises. Maybe would be a good answer there. But good. So Tony, can you ask Miguel the same question?
Miguel, tell me about a time you dealt with a crisis.
Uh, I remember when I have to present an interview and I don't have the slides ready for that moment. So I got in my nerves and I had to prepare the slides very fast.
Okay,
It's all.
nice. Really good answer. Prepare the slides really quickly. So if you look in the chat box, can you repeat those sentences one more time, Miguel?
I remember when I had to present an interview and I didn't have the slides ready at that moment. I was really nervous and I had to prepare the slides really quickly.
Good. Okay. Perfect. Good. And so, do any of you have any questions on this page? Any questions? Okay, good. Let's go to the next page. And so let's have Ken. Can you read the title and this next line?
Okay. Idioms, pet peeves, things that irritate you.
Good. And Tony, can you read this? What's in the box right here?
Pet peeve when someone assumes that when you are reading a book that you are doing nothing and therefore can be interrupted repeatedly.
Good. Nice job. And so this next one. Get that out of there. Miguel. Actually, Tony, can you ask Miguel this question?
Miguel, what are some of your co-worker pet peeves?
Some of my coworker pet peeves are to stand up and start to speaking to everybody in a lovely way.
Okay, in a loud
Obviously
way.
annoying. Okay.
Yeah, okay, good. So if we're saying some, that means it's more than one. So in this case, we could just say one of my pet peeves is when my coworkers stand up and start to speak. To speak to everyone in a loud way. Can you repeat that sentence one more time? So read the sentence in the chat box, starting with one.
Uh-huh. Uh, some of my coworker
Oh,
pet
sorry,
peeves.
not quite there. So hold on. So
One of my
yeah.
pet peeves is when my coworkers stand up and start to speak to everyone in a love way.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. That's a really good pet peeve. What about you, Ken? Do you have any pet peeves from your coworkers?
Mm, yeah, sometimes sometimes some people's action is annoying, and especially when I'm working something and interrupt that work and suggest different wrong way. That's
Okay.
irritated me. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So when people interrupt your work and you're actually like really focused on something, that's awesome. Yeah. What about you, Tony? Do you have any pet peeves?
I would ask you before if you say that I have some pet peeves or my coworker have some pet
Just a
peeves.
general pet peeve. Do you have any general pet peeves?
Uh, so if I have a pet peeves, if it is if someone else is annoying me, or if I annoy someone.
Okay, it's when somebody else annoys you. So like one of my pet peeves is when people interrupt me when I'm reading, or maybe when somebody chews with their mouth open. It's a pet peeve. What about you? Do you have any pet peeves, Tony?
Maybe when my flatmate uh, uh, speak out loud or have or hear music or watch TV out loud when I am sleeping.
Okay, so when your flatmate watches TV,
With
um,
out, out loud.
okay, yeah, so watches TV with the volume turned up, with the volume turned up when I am sleeping. Yeah, that would definitely be really annoying. Good. Okay. Awesome. Any questions on this page? Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. Why do you change everybody for everyone in my sentence?
Oh, no reason. It's just something that I usually do. Yeah, you could say
Okay.
everybody or everyone. I must have just, it's one of those things where I'm not even thinking and just typing. Sorry about that. But yeah,
No,
Miguel,
it's perfect.
everybody is the same. Everybody is harder to type. I just, probably. So everyone just flows a little
Okay.
bit nicer. But good question. Any other questions?
Why did this idiom say pet, mention about pet?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's just something that people say. It's what it is. I'm not.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's something maybe you could look up, but I
Mhm.
don't know right off the top of my head.
Okay.
But good question. If I find out, I'll let you know. Any other questions? Okay. I think this is, no, this page. And so let's have a comic and let's have Ken. Can you read the boss's position? And let's
Okay.
have Tony. Can you read Dilbert?
Okay. We need someone who can solve the biggest engineering problem we have ever encountered.
Just distribute the power supply across both functions and double the font size.
Thanks. If I need anything else, I'll interview you again.
Nice. Really good job. And Tony, can you ask Miguel the first question?
Miguel, what do you think about this comic?
I think that it's a very economic way to solve a problem.
Yeah, I think it's a very economical way to solve a problem. Can you read that sentence one more time?
I think it's a very economical way to solve a problem.
Yeah, perfect. I definitely agree. And so why is it an economical way? What's exactly happening, Miguel?
The interviewer wants to solve a problem without spending money. So he decided to ask at the interviewee for the answer.
Yeah, exactly. Solve a problem without spending money. So he asks the interviewee, I'm not even sure if that's the right way to spell that word, to solve the problem. But good, really great answer. That was perfect, Miguel. Really good grammar as well. Okay, and Miguel, can you ask Tony the last question?
Tony, have you ever felt like this?
Uh, I I felt like this uh, when some friends asked for advice, and and at the end they say, "Oh, thanks. Uh, I'll call you if I need something else."
Yeah, if I need something else. Good, or maybe when a friend comes and asks to study with you, and they really just copy all of your answers. Something like that. It's like giving private tutoring to somebody, your friends. I think, yeah, that's exactly right. Really good job, Tony. What about you, Ken? Have you ever felt like this?
For the interviewers
It
feeling?
doesn't have to be for an interview. It's just when you feel like somebody's using you.
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Okay, can you give an example?
It's not my case, but this kind of thing, this interview kind of thing reminds me, some artist sued some artist, I sent the demo tape to the record company, record label, but my melody or my concept of song was used in the famous hit song after that. It's similar to this idea.
Yeah, used and they're famous. Yeah, after. For sure. That's perfect. That's a really great example. And are you saying that happened to you, or is that something you heard about?
I heard of sometimes I saw the news,
Ah,
that
okay.
kind of news on the internet or something. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Really good answer, though. Okay, and so I think we've solved that pretty well. Let's go to the next page. And Ken, can you ask Miguel the first question?
Okay, Miguel, tell me about the time you made a mistake.
Uh, yes, I forgot to renew a domain, an internet domain, so we lost that domain forever.
Okay. Um, yeah. Can you tell me about maybe how you made up for it or what you did to try to correct your mistake? So, like, if you're in an interview, it might be a bad idea to just say the mistake and leave it at that.
Uh, just we repair this problem configuring another better domain.
Yeah, by configuring another even better
Better.
domain. Yeah, perfect. Um, and can you repeat domain? Domain.
Domain.
Yeah, domain. Perfect. Um, yeah, really good job. And so, what was the name of the domain that you lost? What was the name of the domain you lost?
the name.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name, the exact name.
Okay. Do you remember the new name?
No, it's very very strange and very long.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for example, okay.
Okay. Good. Miguel, can you ask Tony the next question?
What is your dream job?
I would like to be the CEO of a big company,
Okay. What kind of company?
financial company,
Financial company?
financial.
Nice. Okay. A financial company. So, can you give an example of a company that you'd like to be CEO of? So, what's an example?
Goldman Sachs.
Okay. So, you could say like Goldman Sachs. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Perfect. Okay. And Tony, can you ask Ken the next question?
Ken, describe yourself.
Okay. To describe myself, I'm a kind of half positive, half pessimistic person, and when I face the serious situation, I try to figure out how to get out of the situation, both positive and negative way. Because and basically I'm a shy person, but thanks to the experience I had, I'm getting more outgoing than ever.
Nice. Okay. So based on or because of my experiences, I'm becoming more outgoing, or I'm becoming more outgoing than ever. Because of my experiences, I am becoming more outgoing than ever. Nice. That's a good sentence. Yeah, and I wouldn't change anything. Nice work, Ken.
Thank you.
What do you mean by half positive and half pessimistic? So,
Mhm.
ha-
Yeah, sometimes I feel very positive, but I sometimes feel very pessimistic.
okay,
Yeah, both me I exist in my mind.
okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, that makes sense. Another word, if you're going to use pessimistic, optimistic.
hmm
So optimistic and pessimistic just seem to go together more often in English. So positive is a synonym for optimistic, but it might be better to use optimistic. Just a small point, but good.
Optimistic. Okay.
Ken, can you ask Miguel the next question?
Okay. Miguel, tell me how you handled a difficult situation.
The first and most important step is to keep calm and think about the situation. We know that all the problem has a solution, and it's question of time to find it out.
Nice. A solution, and it's a matter of time before you find it out. Good. That would work. In this question, tell me how you handled a difficult situation. It's asking for more of an anecdote. So once I lost all my papers, and what I did was keep calm and try to think of a good solution because all problems have a solution. So it would be more of like one example. But your answer was still really good. So yeah, nice job, Miguel. Miguel, can you ask Tony the next question?
Tony, what is your biggest failure?
Till now, my biggest failure was the grade I took at my college because I could easily take the best marks, mark, but I was uh, too um, sure about myself, and I I studied just uh, to get best, but I needed to study more.
Okay. So I studied just to pass, but I needed to study more. Sorry, I can't seem to get this right. Come on. Just to pass. Okay. So my biggest failure was the grade I got. Instead of saying took, I got at my college because I could have easily gotten the best marks, but I was too self-confident and I studied just to pass. No, to pass. And I needed to study more. Can you repeat that sentence one more time?
Now, my biggest failure was the grade I got at my college, because I could easily have gotten the best marks, but I was too self-confident, and I studied just pass, and I needed to study more.
Good. Awesome job. And so unfortunately, we're just out of time. Feel free if you have any last questions to ask them. But if not, have a really great day, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, teacher. See you later.
Thank you very much.